And you're live.
Thank you, Chair Bernowski. We're ready to go. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Airport Advisory Commission meeting of January 20th, 2021. And it's appropriate today, we'll be doing a changing of the guard. So let's see, the first, so the meeting is called to order at this time. And so if we could do a roll call.
Thank you. This is Carmen Williams. Commission Chair Larry Bernowski.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair John Barry.
Here.
Commissioner Liz Kaplan.
Here.
Commissioner Charles McDermott.
Present.
Commissioner Peter Meyer.
Here.
Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Here.
And I understand Commissioner Corey Little is absent this evening.
Okay, thank you. Next item up is the Aviation Director's Report. Mr. Mascaro.
Good evening, Mr. Commissioner, members of the Commission, Mr. Chair. It's January 20th, 2021. Welcome to 2021. A couple items I'd like to do a quick brief on is if you haven't noticed already or seen our subscription notices or articles in the aviation journals and such, Jet Aviation FBO is officially open for business. So the city of Scottsdale now has 3 full-service FBO operations. Had an opportunity to go down to Jet Aviation today. They don't really have a little too much action yet, but I know that they're getting ready to spool up for the big push. So we're excited about seeing 3 operators here providing better service and better quality service. I mean, we have great service as it is, but the more the merrier. And then the second item I'd like to share is phase 1 of our box hangars are open for business. We have several tenants already in the facilities, and I'm hearing such good positive vibes about that. We're very excited, and as Mr. Reed will share shortly, we're moving on to phase 2 as swiftly as possible. Finally, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, I want to thank yourself and the Vice Chair John Barry for your service over this past year. Your 1 year is already up. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, we can't do this in person or almost in person because of the increase in COVID concerns and then the direction by the city management to keep it electronically over the internet. But I want to thank you very, very much for your leadership and your guidance and your service in helping things move through this troubling times. Hopefully things will get back to normal sooner than later. So that would do it, Mr. Chair and members of the Commission. It's my director's report.
Thank you, Gary. And we want to reach out and thank you and the staff for tremendous support over the past year and for even many years before. So thank you very much. Okay, so next item then is election of officers. I guess first then I'd like to.
Mr. Chair, this is Gary Mascaro. Actually, you have the minutes first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay. Let's go over the minutes. Any comments on the minutes? If not, let's entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second, John Barry.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chair, who was the first person to make a motion? I'd just like to remind everybody on the commission to state your name first so we know who it is. Thank you.
Sorry, Pete Meyer.
Okay, we have it all. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. So
Chair
passed.
Bernowski, I'm sorry, this is Carmen Williams. I believe I have to do an individual vote
Yeah,
count.
okay, I'm sorry.
So Commission Chair Bernowski,
Approve?
Commissioner Liz Kaplan,
Approve.
Commissioner Charles McDermott,
Approve.
and Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Approve.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess now we proceed to the next item, election of officers. Maybe start the process. I would like to put into nomination.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
before you move forward, let me discuss how this works.
Give me the protocol. Yep. Okay.
No problem. So every year, according to the bylaws, Section 101, the commission shall, in a regular session following the first calendar meeting, elect its member of a chair and a vice chair. The term of the chair and the vice chair will be 1 year, and no officer shall succeed himself or herself more than once. So in order to do this election, the members of the commission must state their name, request a nomination, and then look for a second. So with that, Mr. Chair, I will turn that back over to you.
Thank you. And so for the position of chair, I'd like to submit the name of John Barry.
Do we hear a second? Please state your name if you're so.
Rick Milburn, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Mr. Chair, we will do a roll call unless there's any discussions.
Okay. Any discussions?
Okay,
Okay,
Ms.
I will
Williams?
do the roll call. Commissioner Larry Bernowski,
Yes.
Commissioner John Barry,
Can I say yes for myself?
Commissioner Liz Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Charles McDermott,
Yes.
Commissioner Peter Meyer,
Yes.
and Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Yes.
Thank you. 6-0 vote.
Okay, congratulations, John.
Thank you, Larry.
It's a pay raise. And maybe I guess we'll do the other one for the vice chair. And I would like to submit for nomination Charlie McDermott.
do we hear a second?
It's John Barry, I'll second.
Any comments, questions, additional nominations? Hearing none, Ms. Williams?
Commissioner Larry Bernowski,
Yes.
Commissioner John Barry,
Yes.
Commissioner Liz Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Charles McDermott,
Yes.
Commissioner Peter Meyer,
Yes.
and Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Yes.
Thank you. 6-0.
Okay, thank you all very much. And so I guess with that, I turn the gavel over to John.
That is correct. Thank you very much, Mr. Bernowski.
Thank you all very much. John, it's all yours.
Okay, thanks, Larry, for your year of service. It was kind of a difficult year, and you didn't used to get to use the gavel very much. You were we're all doing this remote stuff. So thanks again, Larry. Enjoyed
You're
working with
welcome.
you. Okay, so we go to item number 2, discussion and possible action regarding bylaws. Gary Mosquero, Aviation Director, will fill us in.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Oof.
Oh, it sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, pursuant to the bylaws on an annual basis, we provide these bylaws to the commission as a whole to take a look at to see if there's any changes or suggested changes that you may want to do with regards to the upcoming next year. I have not received any comments from any of the commissioners directly or any changes. This could be a no action item unless there's any further discussion on the current bylaws.
Any discussion?
None here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item number 3, discussion and possible action regarding the air park business license for Beck Lane Hangars. Carmen Williams will fill us in.
Thank you, Chair Barry and Commissioners. So we've got 3 aeronautical business permits for ratification this evening. Before I go into them, I just want to make sure we have a representative online from Beck Lane Hangars.
Yes, Ryan Hamilton here.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, so
Thank
Beck
you,
Lane
Carmen.
Hangars, they're seeking ratification of an air park aeronautical business permit to conduct hangar and shade leasing services. Their hangar and office is located on Beck Lane with aircraft access through Gate 6. So they're on the west side of the airport. They have over 40,000 square feet of hangar and office. Excuse me, is someone asking a question? They have over 40,000 square feet of hangar, office space, and common area space. Beck Lane Hangars has met the requirements of the aeronautical business permit, and they've submitted the proper documentation. Is available on the phone to answer any questions you may have regarding their application or their operations.
All right, thank you, Carmen. Anybody have any questions for Ryan? If not, could I have a motion?
Chairman, I'll make a motion.
This is Liz. I'll second it.
Okay, can we have a vote?
Was the original motion from the vice chair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is Carmen. We'll do a vote count. Commissioner Larry Bernoski,
Yes.
Commission Chair Brad Berry. John Berry, sorry.
Yes. That's a, so we forget Brad so fast.
I
don't we?
know.
Yes.
Commissioner Peter Meyer
Yes.
and Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Passes 6-0. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton.
Okay, agenda item number 4, discussion and action regarding application for business license for Grandview Aviation. Carmen will fill us in.
Thank you again, Chair Berry and Commissioners. So Grandview Aviation is seeking ratification of an airport aeronautical business permit to conduct aircraft charter services. Grandview's main offices are based in Baltimore, Maryland, and they have leased office space over its Signature Flight Support's main facility. They are basing an Embraer 505 Phenom jet at Scottsdale for their charter operations. Grandview Aviation has met the requirements of the aeronautical business permit and submitted all the proper documentation. And we have Ms. Jessica Naor, Chief Operating Officer, on the phone this evening to answer any questions you may have regarding their application or their business operations.
All right, thank you, Carmen. Does anybody have any questions for Jessica? If not, good luck to you, Jessica. And do I have a motion to approve?
Thank you.
Meyer, so moved.
Rick
Larry
Milburn,
Bernowski, second.
Yeah, Rick Milburn, second.
Okay. Commissioner Larry Bernoski,
Yes.
Commission Chair John Berry,
Yes.
Commissioner Liz Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Charles McDermott,
Yes.
and if I understood correctly, Commissioner Peter Meyer did the first motion?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then I've got Commissioner Rick Milburn second. Thank
Right.
you. 6-0.
That passes. Good luck to you, Jessica. And that's a really cool plane, by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just wanted to say thanks for inviting me, and we look forward to growing business in the Arizona region.
Good, thank you. Okay, agenda item number 5, discussion and action regarding a business license for Sawyer MX LLC for aircraft maintenance. Carmen has the information for us.
Thank you again, Chair Berry and Commissioners. Before I start, I just want to make sure we've got a representative from Sawyer MX on the line. Chad? Okay. So we could either proceed with the ABP, or if you want to hold off until next month. Commissioner
Carmen, is this part of the is this part of the
There we
Sawyer
go.
Aviation Group?
That is correct.
Okay.
Let's see, Carmen Chapadale here. I'm not sure if you were able to hear me before.
Ah,
Oh, there you go.
perfect. Thank you so
There
much,
we go.
Chad. Great. We can
Doing
hear
this
you loud
from
and
the cell phone.
clear. Okay, thank you. So item number 5. So Sawyer MX LLC is seeking ratification of an airport aeronautical business permit to conduct aircraft maintenance and repair services. So Sawyer is a long-term tenant of the airport. They have flight, school, and charter operations under Sawyer Aviation. They have recently expanded their business to
Are you still there?
I lost Carmen.
Yeah, I did too.
Carmen, are you there?
The wonders of technology.
Stand by, please.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I think she's going to be calling in.
Okay.
Hello? Carmen will be joining us here just in a moment. She just got kicked off her computer.
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah.
You want-
Okay, do I need to start from the beginning on this agenda item?
Yeah, why don't you? We didn't hear much.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize I got kicked off. Okay, so item number 5, Sawyer MX is seeking ratification of an aeronautical business permit to conduct aircraft maintenance and repair services. They are a long-term tenant of the airport and currently operate a flight school and charter operations as Sawyer Aviation. Sawyer has recently expanded their business to add aircraft maintenance services under the separate entity, and that's why we're bringing forth their ABP this evening. They have office and hangar space at both the Ross Aviation and Jet Aviation facilities. Sawyer MX LLC has met the requirements of the aeronautical business permit and submitted the proper documentation. And it looks like we have Chad Verdaglio, president of Sawyer, on the phone to answer any questions that you may have regarding their application.
Okay, Chad, this is John Barry. Just curious, you're going to have, you're going to be doing annuals, 100 hours, turbine, prop, what type of work are you going to be doing?
Yes, jet aircraft as well as piston.
Okay.
So,
are you guys already
whatever
set up,
you
ready
need.
to go?
We are.
Good.
And Chad, this
Go
is Rick Milburn. Chad, this
Hello.
is Rick Milburn. Is this a satellite facility, the maintenance shop, or is it a standalone?
No, it's standalone.
Okay, thank you.
8,000 square feet. Yeah, and also too, we'll have 8,000 square feet of hangar space or floor space in hangar 6 with Ross. Yeah, that
Cool.
unlike the others that are just mobile.
Yeah. Very good. Well, good luck to you. Do we have a motion?
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Milburn, I move that we vote a yes for the permit for Sawyer.
Second, Larry Burdusky.
Okay, this is Carmen. I'll do the vote count then. Commission Chair John Barry,
Yes.
Commissioner Liz Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Charles McDermott,
Yes.
Commissioner Peter Meyer.
Yes.
Okay, 6-0 vote. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Chad. Good
Great.
luck.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Carmen, appreciate all the help.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 6, discussion and action to approve Airport Advisory Commission annual report. Aviation Director Gary Mascaro will present.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you. Attached as every year is the annual report that you will review and complete. This report goes with all other boards and commissions, typically in the month of February, to the City Council to provide an update. If Tiffany, you can scroll down to the actual report, that would be great. If you take a look, you'll see a significant amount of activity as Tiffany described it when she helped pull this report together. We've done a lot over the past year, and then we have a lot going this year. This is the standard report that is a fill-in report that all boards and commissions complete. In addition to that, it also shows how many folks were present and absent. On the bottom, on the second page, you will notice that there is any future items that we're going to talk about. One is probably the biggest one is the contract award for the Runway Rehab project. I'm very, very happy to say that I received notice today from the FAA that the federal government released grant funding for us to move forward with the Runway project. So we're super, super excited about that.
Yep.
I know we are one of the first airports in the country to get grant funding. We won't actually receive the grant until we complete the contract award dollar amounts. We're working at 90% right now. Once we get 100% dollar amounts, we will submit it to the FAA for their review, final blessing, and then they write us the grant for that dollar amount. So that was pretty exciting. And at the bottom part of the report is any additional comments or recommendations that you as the board would like to add to this report to share with the city council. So that's your area where you would complete and add any different additional changes or any modifications for the report. This report does need to be acted on and voted upon with any adjustments necessary. And the floor is back to you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I read it over. It looked fine to me. So I really have no other comments. Do any of the commissioners have any comments? If not, let's have a motion to approve the annual report.
Charlie McDermott, I'll make a motion to approve the annual report.
Mark,
second.
Kermit, if you do roll call, please.
Carmen, can you hear us?
I think we may have lost it for a second time. So I'll do the roll call, Mr. Chair. Chair Barry?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's get it done.
All right. All right. So you'll start with you, Chair Barry.
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Bernowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Approved.
Vice Chair McDermott?
Aye.
Commissioner Meyer?
Aye.
Commissioner Milburn?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
All right, next item number 7, discussion and possible action on the to authorize the lease agreement with Pantheon Global Realty for executive box hangar space. Carmen will fill us in on the details if she's with us. Or maybe Gary will fill us in on the details.
I guess I will be filling in. She did this on purpose. I will be filling you in on the details until she jumps back.
I'm on.
Oh,
I'm on.
Welcome back.
Yes.
She's on.
I'm back on. Okay, so Chair.
Hey, Carmen,
Yes.
Carmen, we're on number 7 about the Pantheon Global Realty lease of the box hangar space.
I'm having problems with unmuting and stuff, so I'm now permanently in Sarah's office.
If we lose you again, we're stuck with Gary.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
I'll go for that.
Oh.
Okay, so agenda item 7. It recommends adoption of resolution 12038, authorizing a new lease agreement with Pantheon Global Realty for the North General Aviation Executive Box Hangar space. So as you're aware, the first set of 7 box hangars under phase 1 is open, and aircraft started moving over there the last week of December. So we had 2 phase 1 units open up back in late November, and after a mutual lease termination, one of those vacant units was leased out to Ross Aviation, which you approved, and then Pantheon Global Realty would like to lease out the second unit. This lease would also require City Council approval at their February 2nd meeting. In your packet, you've got a copy of their lease agreement, the graphic. It's Unit A5 that they would be taking on for 36 months. Any questions about the lease agreement?
No, the pricing is what you guys wanted.
That's correct. Yes, that was negotiated between our aviation real estate consultant and the tenant.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the lease with Pantheon Global Realty?
This is Charlie McDermott. I'll make a motion to approve.
This is Liz. I'll second.
And thank you, Liz.
And this is Carmen for a vote count. Chair or Commissioner Larry Vernaski,
Yes.
Chair John Barry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peter Meyer,
Yes.
and Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a 6-0 vote.
Okay, next item number 8 is discussion and possible action on the approval of the DMD Real Estate Group brokerage consulting agreement. I guess Gary or Carmen?
This is Carmen. I've got that item as well. And before I go into it, I just want to make sure that a representative from DMD Real Estate Group is online.
Yep, I'm here, Carmen.
Thank you,
It's Doug.
Doug. Great. Chair Barry and Commissioners, so item 8 recommends adoption of resolution 12044, authorizing a contract with DMD Real Estate Group for aviation real estate brokerage services. The current 5-year contract with DMD Real Estate Group ended last December, and over the years, the airport has benefited from the real estate services provided by DMD Real Estate Group under that contract. Some examples include the financial analysis and recommendations for developing this aviation business center. They also assisted with leasing out space in the aviation business center when it first opened up. And they were also part of the team to do a cost analysis of the future GA box hangars on the north end. DMD Group also marketed phase 1 and 2 of the North General Aviation box hangars and basically leased them all out to this point. So the Aviation Department and City Purchasing reissued the request for proposals for brokerage services on October 15th, and the proposals were due November the 10th. So the range of services under this contract include the property analysis, marketing analysis, leasing services, and consulting services. We received 2 proposals. They were evaluated by an evaluation committee for the procurement code. There were criteria set forth in the solicitation that we used in our evaluation. And the evaluation committee recommendation is to award a contract to DMD Real Estate Group. The contract will also go to City Council in February for approval. And Doug Davies is on the phone to answer any questions you have about his real estate business and some of the work that he has done for the airport under the prior contract.
This is Rick Milburn.
This is John Barry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Rick Milburn here. A couple of questions for, I guess, Carmen first. Is this the second 5-year lease, or how many years have we been under contract with DMD?
Yes, so the first contract was a 5-year contract, and that ended in the December timeframe. That was the first time going out on the street for real estate brokerage services. So this is kind of a reissue of that original RFP. The term of the contract, it's a 1-year term with 4 renewable extensions, 4 1-year extensions for a total of 5 years.
Yes, right. Okay. And then the second question is, we have fees for consulting services. To what extent have we used consulting services from DMD in the past?
Not too much as far as the hourly consultant rates. For example, when we were doing the financial analysis for the North GA box hangars, that was more of a kind of a lump sum to include their time involved with the analysis. But I would say on occasion, we will call them up for some advice on perhaps a contract, but the majority of the services that would be under this contract would most likely be commissions. Let's say if someone vacates one of the GA box hangars, commissions for finding a new tenant, also marketing of the GA box hangers. So we're not anticipating a whole lot of work under this contract. All of the work has been really done under the old contract that expired.
Okay, thank you.
If no more discussion, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, as you being a panel member, you do need to recuse yourself as a vote. I'm not sure if Carmen mentioned that you participated in the evaluation process.
Yes, I was on the panel, so I recused myself. Sorry, I forgot that.
That is okay.
But
So
I
with
can still
that,
ask for a motion.
Yes.
This is Charlie McDermott. I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, Bernowski, I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Carmen with the vote count. Commissioner Liz Kaplan,
Approved?
Commissioner Peter Meyer,
Approved.
and Commissioner Rick Milburn.
Yes, I approve.
Thank you. So that would be a 5-0 vote with Commissioner or Chair Barry abstaining.
Chair Barry, Carmen, if you get it wrong again, you get in trouble.
I know.
There we go. Okay, next discussion and possible action on the resolution 12045 for on-call engineering contract amendment with Mead and Hunt, $1 million to $1.5 million for design and construction admin. Is Chris there to fill us in on this one?
I'm here, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thanks, Chris. Tell us what this is about.
You bet. I'll go ahead and give Carmen and Gary a little break here. So basically, Mead and Hunt, they do all of our design and construction administration for our big airfield projects, be they vertical or horizontal. As you noted in the action, that our contract currently limits us to $1 million per year. But with our big projects, specifically the box hangars and the runway project coming up, we're going to need to exceed that $1 million per year. So that's why we're asking for the bump to $1.5 million. I do have Scott Van Gumpel from Mead and Hunt on the line if you have any questions for him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Rick Milburn again. I have one question for the staff. Obviously, we're going to go over the $1 million if we're already at 920. But at the end of the fiscal year, if we renew a contract with this engineering company, do we revert back to the $1 million?
Commissioner Milburn, good question. Yes, this amendment will continue through the end of this 5-year contract.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
This is John Barry. So any additional cost or other projects, this contract will be amended in the future?
Mr. Chairman, do you mean if we need to go over 1.5 million this year?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, we would have to, but I did calculate all of our expected work and current work, and the $1.5 million should get us to June 30th just fine.
Okay, good. All right, can I have a motion to approve?
This is Charlie McDermott. I'll make a motion to approve.
Pete Meyer, second.
Okay, this is Carmen for a vote count. Commissioner Bernowski,
Approve.
Chair John Barry,
Approve.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Approve?
and Commissioner Milburn.
Approve.
Thank you. 6-0 vote.
Okay, next is the monthly operations report by Mr. Chris Reed.
Mr. Chairman, I think we have the construction report before that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
No problem.
Then you're back to back on construction operations. So construction first.
And this won't last very long. Gary covered a lot of this. So first project, as you can see, the first phase, the box hangers is all done. You can see a picture of the hangers, turned out very nice. Just working on a few little punch list items at this time. And then moving down, we are starting phase 2, as was also mentioned. So you can just see we're just getting started, removing the pavement and starting to prepare the subgrade and so forth. And then below that, we're going to touch on, Gary already touched on the status of the runway project. So right now we're in the pre-construction phase with our construction manager at risk. And that work should be done about February or March of this year. And then the big project to construct it for about $12 million should take place in July. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Now, Chris, John Berry, just one, you still think you can do this in 30 days in July, the runway?
Mr. Chairman, right now we're estimating 45, but our CMAR is working hard along with our design team to see what we can do to reduce that time as much as possible. But for right now, we want to stick to the 45 days just to keep everybody prepared on that worst case scenario timeframe.
Deer Valley and Falcon for a month. So, okay. Thanks, Chris. You want to go on to the operations report now?
Sure can. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, the November and December ops reports are there. First line shows you the current number of based aircraft by type this month compared to the same month last year. Then moving down to the operations numbers, and you'll notice that the big deal here is that we actually surpassed last year's numbers. The total ops ended up around 195,000 and some change, as opposed to last year at 186 and some change. So with the big downturn in April and May with COVID, it's really amazing to see these numbers come up and surpass last year. And that also includes the IFR numbers below that, 1.8% higher than last year. So that's good stuff. Moving down to the alerts, just had a couple of alert twos in the couple of months, and then listed out the incidents there for you for the 2 months. And then down to the next page for the enforcement actions. The one that kind of comes to mind there that you'll notice, I did have to issue a civil citation to a person who ran out into the aircraft, the movement area, which is the area out next to the runway. An aircraft had left the runway, and this person, for some reason, decided to run out there to see if they could help. And unfortunately, that's a big rule violation, and we do write civil citations on that type of serious violation. So U.S. Customs numbers below that. You can see the revenue from the month. Customs has really come back strong, 93,900, 168 uses for the U.S. visit flights. You can see the number and the national origin of those folks who were on those 112 flights. And then you can see the comparisons of the revenues below that, fiscal year to date, this year to last year. So we've come back and surpassed last year with the revenues, and also for the number of uses. And we ended up the calendar year at 42 PPRs. Those are the PPRs when somebody wants to fly out of here over 75,000 pounds, but less than 100,000 pounds. And then the attachment shows the operational numbers in itinerant, local, IFR, and total for about the last 16 months or so. So you can see the comparisons. And with that, I'll take any questions you might have.
No, that's John Berry. I mean, it actually ended up being a great year. It's amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. So,
any comment on that,
Chris.
Chris, this is Pete Meyer. Any comment on that building security violation?
Mr. Commissioner, if I can have Tiffany scroll up to that so I can refresh my memory.
it just caught my eye.
Is it, let's see, was it an incidents or enforcement?
Enforcement. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at it on yours. I was looking at last month's report. Let me shut up. No, it's right there. 11.6. 11.6.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's a building security plan violation. So what it was is all the buildings that are on the airport perimeter have to maintain a security plan with our office. And we found a gate that was not locking and not closing. And so therefore it was a security plan violation. So what we do is we just, our staff, our operations staff will grab a chain and a lock and lock it up until it's been fixed.
Understood.
All right, good. Let's go next. Carmen, number 12, talk to us about permit additions and changes.
Thank you, Chair Barry and Commissioners. The latest airport and airpark tenant list is in your packets for review. Since our last meeting in November, there was a few changes in the permits. The 3 new aeronautical business permits from tonight's agenda are shown in green. I also changed Jet Aviation's ABP to a fixed base operator since they opened up as an FBO earlier this month. We had a couple of cancellations in December. Southern Sky Charters canceled their charter permit, and Mobile Inn canceled their hangar shade ABP after selling the property to Beck Lane Hangars. That was on the agenda for tonight. And that's about it. Any questions about the current list?
No questions, and let's move on number 13, again with Carmen on the financial report for October and November.
Thank you, Chair Barry and Commissioners. This is my last item for tonight. In your packets, you have the monthly financial reports for October and November. So in the interest of time, I'll focus on the November report. In the upper right-hand corner, the revenue and expenses for year to date are shown. The approved budget for revenues through November was 1.9 million, and our actuals came in at 2.2 million. So we are doing pretty well this year. Fuel and transit fees were a bit higher this year, as well as our customs, so that contributes to it. On the expense side, our budget was 1.1 million, and the actuals came in at 906,000. So again, staff always doing a really good job with monitoring the budget and watching our expenses each month. For the monthly comparison to last year, we had 491,000 in revenues this year compared to last year's revenues of 462. So a little bit better this year. And on the expenses, we are a lot lower this year at 132,000 compared to last year at 301,000. The big variance there is primarily going to be the customs quarterly invoice for labor that we pay. And sometimes they are quarterly and on track, and other times we get it late. So in that case, it was late a month last year. We also had some larger one-time expenses last year. On the left side of the financial report, the aviation fund cash balance is 6.4 million as of November 30th. And then towards the middle of the report, we have our accounts receivable aging report. This includes the balances for all of our accounts, such as our leases, our access permits, tie down fees. So those are the account balances as of December the 7th. And the negative numbers in those future timeframes means that a customer has paid in advance several months. We do have several customers that do like to pay for a year in advance, so we'll take it. Down on the bottom half of the report, it's the fuel flowage stats. So I did make a change I wanted to point out for this month, percentage change from last year and how I did that. In prior reports, we've always based it on revenues. I've completely changed it with gallons all the way down. Reason being that we had a fuel flowage increase from 8 cents to 10 cents a gallon last July, and it makes better sense to really base it on gallons. So you'll see that change. With the addition of the new FBO and the increase in fuel flowage, that is what you're going to see now moving forward instead of revenues. So the November fuel revenues are up quite a bit over last year, which shows the activity continues to pick up for our fixed-base operators. For the November comparison, the jet gallons sold by the FBOs, and this doesn't even include jet aviation in the mix yet, they're up 31%. Avgas is down 1.5%, and the air park fuel is down 10% over last year. But overall, for the month of November, the gallons are up 17.1%. Then down below for the fiscal year to date, the jet fuel sales are up 25.3% for the FBOs. Avgas is up 3.3%, and the air park is down 3.3%. So the actual gallons pumped year to date is about 4.28 million, which is a 14% increase over last year. We do continue to see the customs activity pick up a lot lately as we enter the cooler months or in the middle of the winter season. And as I mentioned, we're back to 2 full-time officers with 7 days a week coverage. So that covers the financial reports. Any questions that I can answer?
Good.
Carmen, this is Chair Commissioner Bernowski. It looks like the air park numbers went down like 10% and 3%. Is there any reason that tenants leave or anything that caused that drop?
Commissioner Bernowski, it could be a few reasons. A lot of times what happens is maybe a customer's payment is late and doesn't get posted until the following week, which really hits the next month. We have a lot of, I'd say, changes that go on in the air park with the access permit. So oftentimes we do have aircraft coming and going. So it's actually a fairly small increase or decrease, but I think that's pretty normal as we go through the year. Nothing in particular stands out.
Thank you.
All right,
Any other
thanks, Carmen. Sarah, next we have you for discussion input on the public outreach programs and projects.
Yes, thank you, Chair Barry and Commissioners. I'd like to give you just an update on some of our marketing, outreach, and planning programs at Scottsdale Airport. I usually kind of go ahead and update the sheet below, so the highlighted versions are kind of the new stuff. I wanted to point out that under the noise outreach, kind of a new thing that we've started now is as we get a new flight training company, I'll sit down or review on the phone some of our noise abatement programs, some of the concerns and issues that some of our residents share with us. I had a great conversation with Climb 250, so I think that's going to be kind of a nice addition to our flight training schools. Down at the voluntary curfew outreach, when we get a complaint after the hours of 10 p.m. and before 6 a.m. and I can connect that, I'll send out a voluntary curfew letter. So we sent out 5 of those voluntary curfew letters out in November and 9 in December. On the planning front, if there's a development project that takes place within the airport influence area, we also keep track of those development projects. For November, we had 1 project and 6 in December. With all this great activity that you hear about these construction projects, you know, we try to share the news. And so I'm trying to send out listservs. Some is kind of one of the ways that we send that out. We sent one out on the jet aviation opening, the completion of the phase 1 of the box hangar project. And we continue to kind of usually supplement that as well with social media posts using Instagram, Twitter, sometimes Facebook. We issued a press release on kind of the different city construction projects, and that generated some great coverage for us as well in local news outlets. And hopefully you saw the article also in Business Airport International. I thought that was just fantastic coverage for the airport, and they did a really super nice job with that. As far as local too, on Fox 10, they requested some info based on some of those press releases and ran a kind of a thing on our airport operations and impacts due to the pandemic. So we kind of got a slightly different coverage on that. With the introduction of the new FBO Jet Aviation, had kind of my hands full just working on some new updates to all of our maps and brochures and pilot guides. So working to update all of that. They're almost ready. Some of them are updated on the website. Some of them are near ready. So you'll see those launch soon. And then we're still working on the updated, we continue to update the Runway Rehab webpage with a start date and schedule as of recently, and that will continue to evolve as we kind of work through the project. So I'll be sure to kind of keep that updated. So that kind of rounds out my update for the month. I'm happy to entertain any questions if you have some.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions from anybody? Fellow commissioners?
This is Commissioner Bernowski. Just a quick question. I guess it's back to Chris. Sarah mentioned the rehab project. I thought we were talking 30 days originally, and now it's 45, or was it always 45? And then if it is, what are the actual dates planned?
Chris, would you like me, or you probably can do a better job of answering it. Do you want to pop on, Chris?
Sure, Commissioner Bernowski. Yeah, 45 is what we're advertising at this time. And we're looking to start right after the 4th of July weekend.
Thank you.
Is the Sarah again for the quarterly noise complaint summary report, which is our favorite report every month.
Thank you, Chair Barry and Commissioners. Yes, I would like to review the quarterly noise report. This report covers the 4th quarter, so that time period starts from October to the end of December of 2020. Part of what we do, aside from the noise complaint database, is I keep track of the number of callbacks and emails and the response that we do by staff. And so the totals were 19 callbacks and 1 email for this time period. With that, I'm going to go ahead and go into the noise report, and we'll cover each of the tables. And these are from all the complaints that we received through the database. So as you can see on that first diagram there, those are the number of complainants. So we have 24 new complainants, 33 repeat complainants. That kind of in comparison to last year at the same time period is pretty close. We were at 62 before, we're at 57. So we're kind of being pretty consistent there with the number of complainants. On the table below, the next table below, you'll see the number of complaints. So here I'd like to point out that you'll see that really long bar here for 2020 that shows you the number at 10,074. And that is due to one complainant putting in a very large volume of complaints. So one complainant has actually issued 9,845 complaints.
That's
So
unbelievable. That's crazy.
Yes. And so we just thought we would properly reflect this on the report, given that just one complainant has, contributed that many complaints. If we remove all those numbers, it is back to a truer or clearer picture at 229 complaints for this quarter in 2020, which is actually better than the last go around, and that was at 250. And you can see compared to 2019, we're actually well below that. That was 404. So that gives you a truer picture of where we're at, I believe. So with that, we'll continue. And I think kind of, when you look at the map below, you'll see the grid. Again, the top number on the grid shows you the number of complainants in that square mile. Below that is a number of complaints. And you'll see right there under, if you kind of follow it from D7, you even just look at that number there, there's the one complaint in that neighborhood that has generated the 9,845 complaints. So if we're not concentrating on that and we kind of look at the overall picture, you'll see that, it's kind of been status quo. We've had the F6 grid line at 37. Is probably, well, that's our second highest. And then we have J2 in the upper part of the city by Happy Valley Road, actually in 120th, and they have 46. Other than that, it's pretty dispersed. I couldn't find any weird or different things that were going on this quarter to share with you.
This is Pete Meyer. Is there any merit to trying to get a conversation or a dialogue started with that one person who has too much time on his hands or her hands?
Commissioner Meyer, I always believe there is, and we have tried. I think this is kind of where we're at right now, where with the continuing just and repetitive of submitting of complaints at this point.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And to go further, we will see on the next report sheet, you'll see the complaint history. So we do like to show like way back to 1998 we started, and as we scroll down, you will see where we're at with 2020, kind of to the bottom there. We'll keep going. And so what we did again, because with that high volume, it really just skews all the numbers. So I put asterisks to reflect that and calculated it all out. So you'll see the numbers that are the true numbers there. So we ended 2020 again with that 1,500, which is actually less than last year. So kind of get a good reflection. That ends up my report for this quarter, unless there's any questions.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
I was going to call you today. I was golfing at TPC when that Blue Angel F-18 took off about 11:30. It was very loud, Sarah.
Yes, yes, it was actually. I took video.
Chris, do you know why the Blue Angels, that one plane was there?
No, sir, I don't. I was telecommuting today. Maybe Gary or Sarah, who was at work today, may know.
Was it in your backswing?
It was. I was making an eagle putt that I missed. I 3-putted for a bogey, of course.
Blame it on the
It was
Blue
a beautiful sight, actually.
And if you were so inclined to bet, you would have been betting then.
Yeah, exactly. That was cool. It was cool to see, but noisy.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this is Gary Mascaro. We're not sure why they came. They stopped. They came in the morning and then took off. So they must have been doing a cross country or something.
Yeah. That was cool to see. Okay, 19 agenda item. Gary Mascaro, the administrative report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As always, we provide you an administrative report. We did a little cleanup of the report for 2021 since we're in a new year. This report lists out 2 different sections. One, Airport Advisory Commission items, aviation items that go to City Council. I wanted to list off the 1118 one, the amendments to lease agreements, because you did not see this, but they did get approved on consent on the December 1st. And then we have the 3 new items listed here that you guys just voted to approve. All of them are going on consent on the February 2nd meeting of the airport of the City Council. And so we'll report back next month on those results. And then the next report is aviation related items to Planning Commission, Design Review Board, or City Council. And again, we did a cleanup from all of the ones from last year. These are the ones that are on our radar right now that has submitted applications. No updates to any of those, but we will continue to add and grow this list as we need. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any question? No questions. Let's move to number 17, which is the modification of our calendar. Gary will walk us through that.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, as always, this is a discussion and possible action item if the commission so chooses to make any adjustments to the calendar. There's the fresh 2021 calendar and all of the dates. Be happy to answer any questions. But as of right now, the airport plans on bringing items to February, unless you guys have changes.
Any changes, fellow commissioners, needed? I don't see any.
Gary, let's see, what day? Oh, these are the council meetings. I'm sorry, forget.
This looks clean to me.
Okay, great. Then we are done for the evening. Thanks, everybody. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, hold on.
No, I want to adjourn.
I know.
What?
There's one more item right below it, future agenda items. If any commissioner would like an item on the agenda to add, they can certainly make a request, and then the commission has to vote on adding that item on the agenda. We don't typically do it, but it is there.
Does any commissioner have another agenda to bring up tonight? Okay, now you can move to adjourn. We have to do a roll call.
If not,
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Pete Meyer.
Second? Somebody?
Charlie McDermott, second.
And this is Carmen for the roll call. Commissioner Bernowski,
Yes.
Chair John Barry,
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Yes.
Vice Chair McDermott, second,
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
and Commissioner Milburn.
Yes.
Then we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and hopefully in the next month or so we can meet in person and these will go a little bit smoother and a little more fun.
Thank you.
Thank you
All right,
very
good
much.
night, everybody.
Thank you all.